One of the very cool pieces of gear we have here at Vintage King is this pair of PYE 4060 compressors. PYE is a really old British company that's been around over 100 years. They were formerly into the early television broadcast and receiver equipment, radio broadcast equipment, and in the 60s they developed one of the very first Class A solid-state compressors. This was cutting edge at the time when transistors were replacing all the old tube gear. And they quickly became a favorite among radio stations. Even Dutch pirate radio out on the ocean was using them. But it also became a favorite of a lot of London recording studios, including Olympic Studios, which had a custom-built Helios desk that also had a PYE compressor installed in it. And so many great rock albums were recorded back at Olympic in the day. Let It Bleed and Beggar's Banquet from the Rolling Stones, the first Led Zeppelin album. Eddie Kramer used the PYE compressor on a lot of Jimi Hendrix's stuff at Olympic. And so it really contributed a lot to the so-called British sound that was coming out of London back in the late 60s and early 70s. This particular pair of PYEs came out of the White Room Studios here in Detroit, a legendary studio that has recorded so many local and national acts, including Eminem, Kid Rock, and many others. The PYE compressor is deceptively simple. You have control over the decay time, variable threshold control, and 4 compression ratios plus limiting. But the sound is very unique, and that's what has made it so collectible and so desirable for engineers and producers over the last 30 and 40 years. They're getting harder and harder to find, and we're lucky to have this pair offered here at Vintage King. We'll give them a good cleaning up, test them out thoroughly, service them back up to great operating capability, and offer them to one of our customers here at Vintage King.